Biosphere 2, The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the Biospherians. It's a 2-year mission to grow some food and try to avoid going stir crazy. To seek out new life and convince my wife she's watching a spoof documentary whilst at the same time confusing the living daylights out of me. Because I thought I'd purchased a film about a group of 8 people locking themselves in a biodome after getting inspired by 1972 sci-fi classic Silent Running, and instead I'd spent the first 20 minutes watching an experimental theatre group building a boat as a sort of performance art. Their words, not mine. Then sail around the world setting up hotels in Marrakesh and, still to the best of my knowledge going, art galleries in London. As you do. What can I say? It was the 70s followed by the 80s. There was lots of inspiration floating around. Alright, so the setup is actually pretty cool, using a lot of footage actually shot by the Biospherians, again, their word, not mine, interspersed with them in the present as talking heads. And to be honest, once we'd actually settled down and the documentary had actually gotten onto its subject matter, I found the whole thing to be utterly fascinating. I mean, maybe it's just the fact that it's looking likely that I'm going to be locked in my house for 2 years, or the fact that this was supposed to be an experiment that would help us learn how to grow food, because we
used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt.
So, for those of you who aren't really aware of this whole thing, the idea was for 8 people to seal themselves inside a replica of Earth's ecosystem called Biosphere 2 for 2 years and just see what would happen. For science! Although exactly how much value the science was worth seems to be up for some debate by people with way more letters after their name than I've got. And weirdly, the Lord of the Flies thing that you're imagining didn't happen whilst they were in the dome. No, the crazy stuff actually happened after they left, with the random appearance of someone that I wouldn't have predicted turning up in about 1,000,000 years. Look, like I said, Spaceship Earth takes a while to hit its stride, and whilst I got it at the end, sort of, while they spent so long getting going, I feel like a lot of people would have clicked off after 15 minutes or so, which is a shame, as this is really an interesting and unique story recorded in real time and discussed by the people that were there. Also, and whether this is a positive or a negative depends on you, this documentary left me feeling that rather than giving me all the information that I needed, such as why everyone was dressed like they were about to take part in the Crystal Maze instead of doing science in a, say, t-shirt and jeans, this documentary would make a great leaping off point to a unique and interesting story that I just can't sadly see happening these days, even though it would be easier, I guess. Actually, doing research for this review, I discovered the experiment was recreated by Jamie Oliver, of all people, in a school car park and featuring a group of 16-year-olds. Links in the description box. It's definitely interesting, but I still prefer the original. Ignore the first 30 minutes or so, and this is an interesting jumping off point for a story that really deserves to be told, and I wish it got more of an advertising push because it really spoke to me. So I definitely think you should see it, but what did you guys think, and what is your favourite out there science experiment real life film? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a donkey. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.